Big Cat TV, Pastor Andy, Pastor Reacts.
He's the pastor.
Yeah, and he's the Big Cat.
And Big Cat.
So, Linkin Park,
We had
back again.
Yeah, we had a request for this one.
We did a Linkin Park song called
Heavy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, this is off their first album, Hybrid Theory. Good album. Actually, a great album.
All right, we look for spiritual themes and I comment on them. So looking forward to this.
It starts with one thing. I don't know why. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this rhyme to explain in due time. All I know, time is a valuable thing. Watch it fly by as the pendulum swings. Watch it count down to the end of the day. The clock takes life away. It's so unreal. Didn't look out below. Watch the time go right out the window. Trying to hold on to didn't even know I wasted it all just to watch you go. I kept everything inside and even though I
Let's
tried.
pause it right there and talk about time a little bit because, time is such a hard thing to pin down. Obviously, like if you think about being underwater, if you ever tried a contest about how long you can hold your breath underwater, it's like wow, it must have been minutes or hours. It feels like because when you're in pain, sometimes time seems to go slow. Marine Corps boot camp would probably be one of those times where you've got, I think it was 13 weeks when I went through boot camp, and it seems like incredibly long time because sometimes when you're so restricted on what you can do, time passes really slowly. You know, just like in elementary school or whatever, when I have to put my head down for 5 minutes. Do they still do it? Do they still do that when you went through school? Like, would kids have to put their head down if they were in trouble?
Yeah, that's been a long time. I mean, I don't know if they do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know if they're allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, probably not.
You have to put your head down.
Finger.
I never tried that with my kids. I should have. But yeah, so time. I mean, you guys have all heard it before. Time flies, and your kids grow up so fast, but they really do.
It all fell apart. What it meant to be will eventually be a memory of a time I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. I had to fall to lose it all. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. One thing.
So, go ahead. What were you going to say?
That chorus right there reminds me of that one book of the Bible, and I can never say it.
Oh, Ecclesiastes?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, everything is vanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part of it that's this is where I have to really find the balance, okay? So let's say, like I got invited to go to Yellowstone Park,
Okay.
which is probably 2 days drive from here. And if I spend all my time on the way there focused on actually getting to the destination, I'm going to miss everything that's involved in the journey. But I'm sure many of us have hung around those types of people that they're so involved in the process that they never even actually get to the destination.
Mm-hmm.
So there's got to be a balance there. My dad and I were collecting firewood, was that yesterday? No, 2 days ago. And we spent a long time trying to get the trailer into position and all that stuff. And, it's like he used to be, he would, we'd try to get 3 loads out or 4 loads out in a day. But now we're kind of like more about, hey, it's early in the season. If we get a load and a half, two loads, that'll be okay. And it's a lot more fun now. It's not all that pressure. But sometimes I get around somebody like, and somebody like that is okay with nothing getting done, and I'm not okay with that either. So it's finding a balance, finding a balance. And what is it really going to take for you to, this is the other thing is like, boy, it's really tough. This is a big part in depression, I think. When you get to the end of working really hard at something and you have no feeling of satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
It's like sand just going right through your hands, and that's a terrible place to be. And Actually, this is the singer that died or took his own life.
Took his own life, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I don't know why, it doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind, I designed this rhyme to remind myself how I tried so hard. In spite of the way you were mocking me, acting like I was part of your property. Remembering all the times you fought with me, I'm surprised it got so. Things aren't the way they were before. You wouldn't even recognize me anymore. Not that you knew me back then, but it all comes back to me in the end. You kept everything inside, and even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, so I mean, the death of a relationship is
That's what I was thinking.
is really heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Boy, were we talking, or, you know, there's so much more openness to getting involved in a relationship now. It used to be maybe way back when, like, your parents would really help you in making the decision. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. But now, at least in the Western civilization, you get to, or have to, or however you want to put it, you get to make a lot of those decisions on your own. But people in your family and your social circle are still really influential.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes to the positive, sometimes to the negative. You know, why do you put up with that? Or you deserve somebody better. Or, you know, all that stuff that's coming in. And, you know, it's not surprising that even marriage is below 50%, I think, for success rate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a low percentage. And losing it, not only do you lose that time that you were with the person, but a lot of times it's a financial cost, an emotional cost, just all kinds of costs involved with relationships not working out. So how do you get up from that? How do you get up off of the carpet? How do you get up off the mat?
Tell me.
Yeah, it's tough. So I think a piece of it is acknowledging, you know, I was hoping this was going to go this way. It didn't, but I'm still here.
Yep.
And a lot more experienced, and starting to reach a place where you start to get your confidence back, and working through who you are now. Because you're battle tested, you're seasoned.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You know, and honestly, you're probably a lot more valuable to a mate because you recognize what it's going to take to make a relationship successful. You know, in some ways, you're more valuable as long as you continue to be open to the possibility that other people can be, that you can give part of yourself to another person. You know, that's the big thing that God in Christ said to humanity. You guys are worth it. It's worth it to be in relationship with the human race.
Yeah.
Isn't that a question that we all ask? Is it worth it to get in a relationship with another human being?
Mm-hmm.
I was reading an article about robot girlfriends because I want to know what's going on with that. And it's understandable in some ways, but very sad. People getting more connected with robots.
And people, yeah.
Intimately. Let's just leave it there.
There's only one thing you should know.
I'll say this. So there are probably a lot of you that are watching this that there may be nobody in your whole family line that is still living that has not been divorced at least once. You know what I mean? My dad and I were talking about this because he's been married for 49 years to the same person now. 49 years in a row, as the old joke goes. And I'm like, that's not what most people are doing anymore. And most people aren't working at the same job for that length of time. A lot of companies aren't existing for that long anymore, at least, again, and this is, our context is where we are, which is the United States in 2018. But how do you... I mean, it's one thing if you know you're going to be with somebody 40, 50 years from now. But if you know there's less than a 50% chance of that happening right from the get-go,
Yeah.
does that change the way you go into it? And then how does that affect things? So, here's what I have to say about that is whatever relationships have existed in your life up till now, the relationship with Christ is one that he says will be an everlasting relationship. We don't have anything to really, we don't have anything to compare that to. The only everlasting relationship that we have, most of us, is the relationship that we have with ourselves. Like, that is the only thing that has been the one constant in our lives. So Christ comes in and says, I'm going to be as constant in your life as you are with yourself, and it doesn't matter how you treat me. He says, you didn't choose me, I chose you. Now, he chose us to reshape us and that sort of thing, but again, the answer to all of this stuff, not to oversimplify things, but in Christ is the answer to all of these things. But he reveals how that answer is going to affect your life moment by moment, day by day, hour by hour, when you're walking with him. Walking with him. As if you're going down a path. And he's pointing things out to you. It's a journey. Thanks for sharing that one. I don't know who did, but that's it's so, I don't know how long this song was written before the artist took his life. Some of you, maybe you guys can let us know in the comments.
About 18 years.
18 years. So that's a long time to be living. Maybe that view of the world came and went. And again, maybe somebody say you're taking the song too seriously, but the ultimate outcome of this was this person decided that life was not worth living anymore. And that's kind of why we do the Pastor Reacts TV here, Big Cat TV, because there is some permanency that's found in Christ, and we get a chance to just kind of open that door, even if it's just a crack for you, to say, hey, maybe I felt like things don't matter, but there's a God who says that things do matter, and it seems like when I get closer to him, then things in my life matter more, and I have even though I'm giving away control, I have more control. It's that paradox. Big Cat TV, he's a paradox, I'm a paradox. We'll be back real soon with another show. Like, subscribe. See ya.